y'all. Well, live from Battleground, Georgia, the final day. This is it, election day. I've already voted, obviously. I just want to point out three things. These are three of the major arguments I keep hearing, for Kamala. Everybody is always asking, okay, we get it. You don't like Trump. We get it. Name a couple things, that you support with Kamala, or that Kamala's going to do. Not many people have answers for that. It's very rare you even hear somebody give an answer other than Trump, democracy, this and that. So I'll tell you the three things I've heard the most, though, and why they're completely false. Number one, obviously, abortion, or as they like to call it, women's reproductive freedom, which just could not be further from the truth. Anyway, no matter what your stance is on it, it doesn't matter. It does not matter in this election. If you say it matters in this election, you did not pay attention in second grade civics class in elementary school. Kamala cannot, let's just pretend she gets elected, she cannot overturn a Supreme Court decision. You can't just snap your fingers and say, never mind. I know Joe Biden tried to do that with the loan forgiveness, but you can't just snap your fingers and get rid of a SCOTUS decision. The argument, of course, against me would be, she could make a law. She could get a law passed and sign it. Well, she has to have Congress and the Senate. She doesn't have the Congress, and she won't have the Congress. And from everything I've seen with polls and even Democrat circles are talking that she's not going to have the Senate either. Like, the Democrats won't even have the Senate. So that's a moot point. She cannot change the decision. She cannot make a law. She can't just snap her fingers and make it happen. And again, I've stated this before in my previous videos. A lot of people seem to forget that overturning of Roe versus Wade gave the choice of abortion back to the people instead of the federal government deciding for you. I don't get why the left is arguing that the government shouldn't make that decision for me, and then wanting to vote for Kamala, because that's exactly what Trump's Supreme Court did, was put it back to the people and take it away from the federal government making that decision for you. I get it. You may not get the decision you want from the people, so that's why you're arguing it, but it doesn't make your argument valid. It just makes it emotional. Number two is everybody keeps talking about, everybody on the left, talking about there'll be no more elections. Even Oprah said this. There'll be no more elections if Trump gets in office. You'll never get to vote again and it'll be over with. Well, that could be further from the opposite of the truth if it tried. They're purposely flooding all the battleground states with as many illegal aliens as they can. They're purposely trying to push through these illegal aliens to get them, citizenship as fast as they can so they can vote. They're even suing states right now who are not letting illegals vote to force them to let them be on the rolls. It's absolutely bat and crazy. It's just crazy that that's even a thing. But the point being is that they're purposely trying to get illegals to vote in all these swing states so they can turn this place permanently Democrat. They also want to pack the Supreme Court, so they cover that branch of the government too. They want to get more left seats out there, through some of our territories. There's a lot of things they want to do to make sure that you never get to vote a Republican into office again. And they are not far from it, by the way. I mean, the fact that this race is even this close with a train wreck, versus one of the best presidents we've seen in 50 years. And the fact that it's even this close should tell you right now that they are very close to securing ultimate domination over our elections. Trump's never mentioned anything that has anything to do with stopping elections from ever happening again. I know that the go-to argument for the Democrats is, well, what about January 6th? What about 2020? He's an election denier. Well, good, he should be. Hillary's still denying elections. Stacey Abrams thinks she's the damn governor of Georgia still. People deny elections all the time. They challenge them all the time, and they cry foul all the time. At least he has a ton of evidence to back up his claims. Where's Hillary's evidence? Oh, Russia? I mean, where's Stacey Abrams' claims? So, the fact that he's challenging something he damn well should challenge. There's a ton of evidence that there was election fraud in 2020. I mean, a ton. Just get out there and look. They can only keep it hidden so long. It's getting out everywhere. There's a ton. And hell, look what's going on now even. So that right there just packs on more evidence. So, that's just out the window. If anybody's going to stop elections from happening anytime soon, it's the Democrats. They're literally fighting to do so right now. Actively. They're not even trying to hide it. They're not even trying to, I missed my turn back there. They're not even trying to hide it. So that point number 2 is just out the window. Enough room for me to turn around in here. And point number 3, Trump's going to be a dictator. He's going to put us all in chains and lock up all his political. What does Kamala always say? Oh, he's going to, day one, he's going to be in the office, Oval Office, mulling over the list of his enemies and blah blah blah. Last time I checked, Trump got into office and the whole world was chanting "lock her up" for Hillary Clinton. He didn't do so. Matter of fact, all the people that attacked him and slandered him during that election, which, by the way, it's always been the same. You guys just slander him and attack him and make up all this crap about him and Russia hoaxes and all this other crap. He never locked up a single person. All the things they did to him all those years, he never locked up a single one of them. And now, of course, they're saying he's going to do it this time. Well, let's really step back for a second and look at both sides and how they've been acting and which side acts more like a dictator. Only one side had multiple impeachments against, a president that literally did nothing wrong to deserve an impeachment. I mean, you could try to grasp at those straws all you want, but if what Biden's been doing hasn't gotten him impeached, and Kamala, and Mayorkas, and all the other guys, if they have gotten impeached for what they've done, then Trump picked a hangnail as his crime in comparison. He literally made a phone call asking them to investigate a corrupt, country that was literally, it was true. It's not like anything he did was false. We won't get into all that, but the point being is, they impeached him multiple times on false charges. They, of course, spread all these hoaxes about him. January 6th, he incited this and that. No, he didn't. You can literally watch the video. I always get a tickle out of these Democrats trying to tell us that what we see with our own eyes is not real, and what they tell us is actually real, despite us being able to see exactly what we're talking about. And then they tried to arrest him. They've charged him with 90-something felonies of literally, they call it a bookkeeping mistake, but honestly it was bookkeeping correct, because that was a legal expense as far as I'm concerned, and it shouldn't have been a campaign expense. But whatever the point being is, that's BS. To turn a misdemeanor that's way past the statute of limitations and turned it into 94 felonies, or however many he turned that one into. I know they're mixed up between different cities and states and stuff of Democrat strongholds trying to make something stick to him. That's complete BS. That's complete BS. Trump is not a felon or anything like that. That's just garbage. And then they tried to kill him multiple times. They've literally said, government officials have said that if he wins the election, they're not going to certify. They're going to refuse to give him power and certify the election. I mean, it just goes on and on. Trump's never done any of that. He's never prosecuted his opponents. He's never tried to kill his opponents. He's never tried to impeach his opponents. He's never done any of that crap. So that argument is completely out the window too. Those are the top 3 things that the Democrats keep saying as to why they would vote for Kamala Harris. I call bullshit. Just that's the only word for it. This is it, y'all. November 5th. Get out there and vote for Trump. Get him in there. I honestly believe he has about 80+% of the popular vote right now. The problem is we need like 95% of it to overcome the steal. You know what's happening. You see it all over the place. They're already starting their crap. There's a reason why only the swing states can't manage to count their ballots the night of the election and need, a week to do so. Wonder why. So just get out there. Get everybody out there right now. Our country is literally on the line for this. This could be the end of the United States of America as we know it. So get everybody out there to vote. Get Trump in office. Let's get things back to normal. I can't take this anymore. See you guys tonight. The polls close in 7 hours.